In today's video, we're going to talk about why competitive bodybuilding is not for everyone. Now I know that many people think bodybuilding looks glamorous, looks like a lot of fun, but in reality it is very hard. I think social media tends to skew people's view of what it's like to compete in a bodybuilding or bikini figure or physique competition. And I'm here to talk about a few things that people should consider before they do go to enter a contest. Now yes, it is a lot of fun, but one thing that I can't stress enough is that doing a bodybuilding show is not going to fix your problems. If you have a problem with dieting, if you have a problem with the way that you look, if you have a problem with your training, and you think that competing in a bodybuilding contest is going to help solve those problems, if you have poor self-esteem, maybe that will help fix your problems a little bit, but it's not going to magically change you. It can enhance, your life, the way that you look at things, but it's not just going to magically fix all your problems. It's like having a baby with someone who you have a failing relationship with, and you're like, oh man, let's have a baby, let's see if that fixes our relationship. It's like having a poor diet and having poor training and be like, well, I'm going to do a bodybuilding competition because that's really going to get me to stick to my goals. And while some people that may work for, more often than not, it's a bad road to go down, because if you do end up competing, you're going to find out that it is a different ball game when you actually step on stage. So there is what I would call recreational bodybuilding, where people just try to get big, they try to hold a fairly decent body composition, and then there is competitive bodybuilding, which is obviously what I do, and that takes it to the extreme when it comes to getting in competitive shape. And why is competitive bodybuilding not for everyone? Well, there's a few reasons. Mainly the reason for is because of the extent of the diet that goes into it. So when you have to diet for months and months and months and months, and you have to get down to single-digit body fat percentages, that is not easily done. So you're talking about an extended period of time that really eats at you. And if you're looking to compete in a show, and you have a show to go for, then great, that gives you some drive to get to that show. But with people who recreationally try to, get down to that small percentage, there's really no reason to do so, because there's no goal behind it. If the goal is just the goal to get to the low body fat percentage, then that's not really something to achieve. It helps to have that show date in mind to help you get to there. Another reason why competitive bodybuilding is just not for everyone is because going up on stage is not necessarily the most comfortable thing for people to do. I myself was very unsure if I was going to enjoy that aspect of being on stage in a small thong, if you will, in front of hundreds of people who you don't know, who are really judging you. And I had a hard time with that at first, just the idea of it. But once I was up there, I was totally fine with it. Now some people get really bad stage fright. They can't physically do it. So that's just another reason why competitive bodybuilding is just not for some people. Another reason why people don't necessarily want to do competitive bodybuilding is because they don't like the aspect of having to compete against other people. A lot of people talk about the you versus you, and that's fine. But I want to face people. I don't beat myself up in the gym all the time just to better myself. I want to prove that I'm better than other people, when it comes to crafting my sport. And that's why I prefer the competitive edge of bodybuilding. I just don't want to, go in the gym, 6 days a week and diet for 9 months on end just to see if I could bring a better physique than I did a couple years ago. I want to stand toe to toe with other guys out there, and some people just don't like that aspect of having to stand up and compete. And of course they don't like the aspect of being judged, because yes, bodybuilding is a subjective sport, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of other sports out there that are subjective, that aren't as cut and dry as some sports. So that's just what we're dealing with. So they don't like that aspect. But if you are a person who likes more or less of the lifestyle, and you like to post, you know, like the pictures on Instagram, your transformations, and make YouTube videos, that's totally fine. You know, go ahead, keep doing your thing. But if you're somebody out there who's looking to get into competitive bodybuilding, just understand, you know, that it does take a much deeper level of commitment than maybe what you see, you know, with these people on social media. And I'll be honest, guys, like, a lot of the people that you see on social media, these big accounts that you may be following, you know, they probably don't even compete because they maybe don't like some of the reasons that I mentioned before, and obviously they're doing quite well without having to compete. But I myself really like the competitive aspect of bodybuilding, and it gives you something to strive for, it gives you someone to go against, and I've always been one to like a little bit of friendly competition. And at the end of the day, yes, you know, we are still all friends, but we all still want to beat each other, at least at the pro level when it comes to the natural bodybuilding circuit. Because yeah, we're all friendly towards each other, but when we get out on stage, you know, we all want to really win. So guys, that's it for competitive bodybuilding. It's not necessarily for everyone. There's different aspects that people like, people hate. You just have to decide what works best for you and where you best fit in. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I'll see you soon.